maritime industry,
MPA.
handed it over to private sectors. Unbundled telecoms, handed it over to private sectors. These were the reason why they retained 51%. And now you keep unbundling, and that is why there's so much money to share at the center. That is why people will kill to get to the center.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
The way an economy is run is the people own their resources, and then it is for the essence, since you decide to federate, and that is why some people can sit down today and tell you that since we were not part of this federating unity, we have a right to sit down and determine whether we want to continue or not.
Professor Jerry Ghana, former information minister at the confab, said, well, if Niger Delta and those agitating for more derivation gets what they are looking for, then the whole country must well relocate to the Niger Delta.
See, I have a problem. I think we're not being fair. See, it is this we and them mentality.
Okay.
We, the Southerners that owns the resources, arrogantly saying we and the Northerners that are parasites, we've been called all kinds of names, maligned, some people call them parasites, forgetting that these are the same people that has fed this nation in terms of agriculture. Nobody eats yam except it comes from the north, or meat.
Fantastic.
I'm coming.
Fantastic.
Or this state.
Fantastic.
Today, Benue State can feed Nigeria.
Fantastic.
And if they have brain working well there,
but
Benue State, Benue State can feed.
I like the word.
I
like the word.
Them as colleagues that brains are
I agree with my brother.
I agree. I like the word if they have brain.
No, they have brains.
I traveled from Makurdi. Allow me.
Who are Benue people and their brains are intact.
I am very angry at Benue State because
why?
Benue State is the state that can feed
so
the
what's
whole
the
of Nigeria. I'm coming.
Hold your thoughts.
And that's why I want to I agree with my brother. I also disagree with him.
When we come back, we'll continue on this discussion. Derivation debate is neither here nor there for now. Well, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Face Off. Derivation is the issue we're looking at today. Some folks down south want more money. Some of the other folks up north say, no, you got enough already. You can take more. And this being the debate, it's been extended even to the national confab. That is making no headway. In fact, they've referred that to the federal government to set up a technical committee to review that. I don't know how that works. I have to guess Alesta to my left and Liberals. Before we went on break, you were trying to respond.
You gave him 5 minutes. Let me take my 5 minutes quickly.
5 minutes?
You gave him 5.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I was not I need to stop you.
Quickly. The argument had been made pedestrian that you now begin to talk about states that are not generating, that don't have so when you take
power
and are not generating resources and so. Because we had missed it from the word go. That is why you have states like Zamfara, Jigawa. We have local government now operating as states. If we had practiced derivation from the way it was in the First Republic, you wouldn't have this mushroom states everywhere. That it made reference. He made reference.
Mushroom states.
He made reference to Benue State. I traveled from Makurdi to Boko to Vandekia. If you know the amount of mango oranges that I saw, but at the end of the day, the state cannot even feed itself because everybody sits down to wait for oil revenue. It's akin to a situation where you have a father with 10 children or 36 children as the case may be. He collects, everybody goes to work, and then the younger ones that are working harder, you tell them, don't worry, I will distribute the revenue equally. And then you have the older one who becomes so lazy because whether you like it or not, revenue must come from the center at the end of the day. And that's what you're basically saying, happening all over the federation. And so
making people lazy, is that what you're saying?
Yes. And what you should have, if you say you have a Federal Republic of Nigeria, you can, if you want to name it something else, and then I won't be here discussing derivation. But in as far as you say you are operating a Federal Republic of Nigeria, let's practice what you call Federal Republic.
Let me also tell you what...
Where the state, where powers, it is... the power generates from the bottom to the top, and not from top bottom. A situation where somebody sits down in Abuja and tells you he's in charge of the road from Ekakpamre to Erumugokwane to Anegbete to Amuvi in Arochukwu, and yet he does not know
I think my brother.
You know, the map of these places. And that's the same thing you see play out in derivation. Allow the people.
Let me take my 3 minutes.
Let me ask you this. Those who argue that if more money, if you move it from 13 to 18% for derivation, then they argue that 5%, a fund, 5% should be created to develop other mineral resources.
Good.
That's one. Two, another 5% should be used or should be generated for what they call rehabilitation, stabilization, and reconstruction of the Northeast.
That is
where there's war. There's not war done, really.
Matter.
No, that's the argument.
Yes, that's even a different matter. For me, my brother is talking about true federalism or no true federalism. I still see Nigeria as a country, first and foremost. It doesn't matter where you reside, you are entitled to a good life. And this idea of we and them, I think that is where I get very uncomfortable. Now, talking about people being lazy, please, what was the profession of the South before discovery of oil? Are they still in that profession?
Can I answer you?
They're also lazy. Everybody's
Can I
waiting.
answer you?
I'm coming. You had your 5 minutes. Everybody's waiting for Shell to drill. Everybody's waiting for Mobil to drill, and then you say it's our property. Meanwhile, you're not the one drilling it. It's Mobil that is drilling. It's Shell drilling. And funded.
What was the profession of those in Dubai?
Funded by the federal government of Nigeria. Now, I
talked about Makurdi, you talked about Benin.
I'm coming.
Shouldn't they be feeding the nation?
They
like
should.
You said?
No, they should. And why the rivers man should be feeding the nation with fish?
So what
Which
happens
one?
to
Which river?
The oil is there.
The river is there.
From which water?
The water is
When
there.
was the last time you went to Bonny?
I just came back from Calabari. I just came back from Bonny in
So there are no fishes
in
there
April.
again?
Look, let me tell
In
you.
April, it is laziness.
Go to-
Everybody
It says
wants
that there is
Go to
fish in Bonny.
Egbema.
People are there. People are just waiting. People are just waiting for the month to end and let them collect
no
their
pipe on water.
Good. Who made it?
But
No. Let me tell my brother. No, let me tell him.
Do you know why?
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
You know why?
Let me tell you why.
That's what
When
I
I
want to
grew
go
up in
to
Port
now.
Harcourt, when I grew up in Port Harcourt in the 70s, as a small boy in the 70s, there are public, look, there was no resource control, there was not even 13%. There was, the roads were tarred, there was pipe bomb water everywhere in Port Harcourt. The roads were clean, places are, in my village, in my town, Bonny, not that you have 13%, what do you have? You have more people stealing the resources. You have wastages, just like my governor has used over 100 billion to build a monorail that nobody can account for. That may not benefit anybody. You have people. All the convicted governors in this country? Where do they come from? South.
Meaning
Why? Because there's too much money.
Point?
Because there's too much money on their hands, and so they mismanage it. Look, I don't have a problem.
Are you disputing
If
the
the money is there,
I am here.
If the
Olu, I
money
am
is there,
here.
no, he will talk.
Taking his
If the money is there,
Hold on.
and judiciously used, nobody will have a problem with that.
Olu,
But when the money is there,
Jigawa,
and it is not judiciously used,
Jigawa,
then what are you talking about?
Was charged to court.
Charged, not convicted.
Even your former governor was charged to not
No,
convicted.
no, I'm saying those convicted. I said
We're
those
talking about the
convicted.
poor states.
I said those
23 billion.
convicted.
Nasarawa, 25
So
billion.
they have that kind of money with them.
No, what I'm telling you is
But
that
haven't you
the
gotten
corruption
enough?
is
Apart
endemic.
from the 13%, you have NDDC,
listen,
you have the Amnesty,
Tell him that,
you have
yes.
the Minister of Niger
Listen
Delta.
Exactly.
The
Is
only
it not
way.
a case of
What is he doing?
resource integrity rather than resource control?
Let me tell you, you need to domicile resources for you to hold somebody accountable.
No, they are saying the 13, you're not even
No,
accounting
no,
for
you're
it.
not accounting for the
Look,
13.
let me tell you.
You are domiciled in your territory.
The cost of constructing 1 kilometer of road in the Niger Delta.
We know that theory.
We've had that
Fantastic.
before.
Fantastic.
We've had it.
And then also, the corruption that is endemic, all over the federation. It's not just in the Niger Delta.
Do you agree that we have it there too?
We have it everywhere.
Worst.
Everywhere. Everywhere.
Worst.
But
So
do you
what
know
money
why?
will we use
No.
One can be convicted
Where you
in
are
London
getting it
for how many
from?
billions?
What I am saying is, don't come give me more money. When the resources is domiciled, I can hold somebody accountable. But as it is now, the man comes from Abuja and he says, I collected 30%. And after of the 30%, because the youth are not employed, I use 14% even. I have to borrow more to pay salaries.
You can hold him accountable. It's your governor.
That's
It's your
accountable.
governor.
Let me
It's
tell
your
you,
governor.
do you know that
He's your
this
local
same
government
governor-
chairman.
You can hold him.
He's your council
Listen
chairman.
to me,
You
Olu.
can hold him.
Do you know that this same local government chairman and the governors, year in, year out, they reel out account statement or this statement of revenue collected and revenue spent. And because this money is not generated here, It comes from somewhere in Abuja.
No.
Sometimes it is even difficult for you to audit.
No.
Why? Do you know why? Let me tell you. You know how much comes in.
You know how much comes
Look, let me
in
tell
state.
you.
You
Look,
know
let me
accountant
tell you.
help us
Look, let me
here.
tell you.
You know what
Look, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you,
see,
Olu.
an accountant help us.
Is it
Olu.
Somebody
Yes.
gets 22 billion. Is it difficult to account 22 billion?
Olu.
Or what is invested
Olu, listen. A man gets
Who is
22
stealing this
billion.
money?
All of them are involved from the center. It is so much
It
at the
is not
center.
the center.
It is
Let
so
us
much at the
talk of-
center. And
there are
so,
entire-
when you steal from the center, what you are also doing is allowing, that is why the center will manipulate the
But you,
states.
sorry, so are you averse to states looking deep into their potential and developing
I
it?
am in for states looking. That's why I mentioned Benue State. I am for states looking deep.
Why are they not doing
So,
that?
look,
Why are
that
they not
is
doing
a
that?
Also,
national
Zamfara
malady.
lead is killing
That
people.
is
The government
a
is not ready to
national
develop
malady.
this.
So why are they
Let
not
the
developing it?
government
Because there's
develop-
oil.
No.
There's oil.
Let the government
There's
develop
oil.
lead.
So,
The way they develop oil. No. Let the government develop the
states
lead.
must go and develop.
States cannot because they are not.
they don't have the
They
resources.
don't have the money to
They
develop.
don't have the resources.
The
When you don't
problem is
control your resources,
the problem
somebody
is now
gives you, you
somebody
go tap in
develop
and
the
beg
oil.
him.
Somebody develop the oil. It
So
is
let
not.
someone
It's
else
not the.
develop
No,
it.
look,
Yes,
let me tell
so
you.
it is government
Let's
develop the
go.
oil. No,
Olu,
the
that's
government
where I
develop. Let the
disagree
government
completely
develop
with
the
him.
gold, develop
When
the
you talk
coal,
about
develop the
developing,
tin, develop the lead, and then let them now become
Okay, you know what?
become
Olu, let's
resourceful.
educate
Okay, you know what?
As
quickly.
far
One
as
minute,
You have,
1 minute.
you have 1 minute to round off.
When you talk about
I'll give you just 1 minute. Yeah,
when you talk
have
about
your 1
somebody
minute.
developing oil, so he's talking as if we're talking about
Go straight to your point, so your 1 minute is
somebody
going.
building a skyscraper. So no, what you have is oil was discovered in commercial quantity, and federal government took over. The development that we're talking about, you generate money from there, and you put a percentage, 1%
the way out?
into
What's
it.
the way out?
The way out is domicile these resources, allow the resources to generate from the bottom to the top. You can tax these people. The way it is done in Scotland, the way Scotland is referred to, the way it is done in Aberdeen, the way it is done in Angola, the way it is done in Hugo Chavez's country. What's the name of this? Chile.
Yugoslavia.
You know,
Okay,
even
so
Venezuela.
what's
Venezuela.
rather?
Venezuela.
And so
What's the
why
way
are we
out?
different?
What's the way out?
No, we are not different. Venezuela has oil is nationalized. Norway oil is nationalized.
Even Brazil.
Brazil oil is nationalized. In fact, even Ghana now that's got is nationalized. There is nothing like we are the owners of the land. Now,
Shouldn't
It is
Brazil-
now
no,
it is
it's not
nationalized.
nationalized.
It is nationalized.
No,
But the derivation is
because
50%.
no.
The derivation is
Shouldn't more money
50%. Check it
go
on your
to
on the
the Niger
internet.
Delta?
No, every part of
Quickly.
this country needs to be developed.
Okay.
Now, the Niger Delta, they've had reasonable chunk of resources of this come from there.
Okay.
We have reasonable chunk of resources, and we've not properly accounted for. We've wasted it. We have not been able to use it to better our people.
So 13%
So
should remain.
13%, I think for now, should remain until there's responsibility for those who can manage it
Well,
properly.
viewers, when it comes to this issue of derivation, I hope we can always have a way out. And but the committee is resuming August 4th, and hopefully, a line will be drawn, and we can reach a compromise on whether or not more money should go to the Niger Delta, and whether there should be more funds set aside for the Northeast that is currently ravaged in terms of crisis. That's been our program tonight. Join us again next week on Face Off. Sports Tonight is next.